The year is 1888. Picture the gaslit streets of London's East End. Fog hangs heavy in the air, obscuring the cobblestones and alleyways. This is Whitechapel, a place of poverty and desperation. It is here that a nightmare unfolds. A killer stalks the night. His name, whispered in fear, is Jack the Ripper. He is a name synonymous with terror, a phantom who preys on the most vulnerable. 5 women, all living desperate lives, become his victims. Their brutal murders grip the city in fear. The police are baffled. The killer is cunning, leaving little evidence behind. He seems to vanish into the fog after each gruesome act. Fear grips the city. Who will be next? These killings are not simply crimes of passion. They are the work of a methodical and cold-blooded individual who seems to take a perverse pleasure in the suffering of his victims. They are calculated, brutal acts, carried out with a precision that suggests a deep understanding of human anatomy and a chilling disregard for human life. The victims, all women, are found in public spaces, their bodies mutilated in ways that shock even the most seasoned investigators. The brutality of the attacks leaves the community in a state of constant fear. The Ripper's knowledge of anatomy is chillingly apparent. He seems to know exactly where to cut, making his gruesome work all the more terrifying. This knowledge leads some to speculate that he might be a doctor or someone with medical training. The first victim, Mary Nichols, is discovered on August 31st, 1888. Her body is found in a dark alley, her throat slashed and her abdomen mutilated. Her throat is slashed and her body is horribly mutilated. The sheer savagery of the attack sends shockwaves through the community. Panic begins to grip the East End. People are afraid to walk the streets at night, and rumours of the Ripper's identity spread like wildfire. Annie Chapman is the next victim, found just days later. Her body is discovered in a similar state, with her throat cut and her abdomen mutilated. Her murder, even more gruesome, deepens the terror. The community is now in a state of near hysteria, and the police are under immense pressure to catch the killer. The police increase patrols, but the Ripper remains elusive. Despite their best efforts, he seems to vanish into thin air after each attack, leaving no clues behind. Catherine Eddowes and Elizabeth Stride are murdered on the same night, September 30th. The audacity of committing 2 murders in one night sends the city into a frenzy. The audacity of the double murder shocks even the most hardened police officers. They are baffled by the Ripper's ability to strike so quickly and then disappear without a trace. The Ripper seems to mock their efforts. He sends taunting letters to the police, further fueling the fear and confusion. These letters are filled with gruesome details and chilling threats. The final victim, Mary Kelly, is found in her own room on November 9th. Her murder is the most brutal of all, with her body so horribly mutilated that it is barely recognizable. Her murder is the most brutal of all. The scene is so horrific that even the most experienced detectives are left shaken. The brutality of the attack is beyond anything they have seen before. The Ripper disappears after this, swallowed by the shadows of Whitechapel. Despite numerous theories and countless investigations, his true identity remains a mystery to this day. The streets where horror lived are now silent, but the fear and fascination with Jack the Ripper endure. The Ripper's methods are shockingly brutal, leaving a trail of horror and fascination that has endured for over a century. His victims are not merely killed, they are dissected with a chilling precision that suggests a deep understanding of human anatomy. Their bodies are arranged in grotesque poses, almost as if the killer is creating a macabre display for the world to see. The precision of the cuts suggests a knowledge of anatomy, perhaps even a medical background, leading many to speculate that the Ripper could have been a surgeon or a butcher. The removal of organs is particularly disturbing, indicating a level of skill and a specific intent that goes beyond mere murder. Some believe this points to a specific motive, perhaps linked to a medical condition or a twisted fascination with the human body. The police consult with surgeons, hoping to glean insights into the killer's mind and methods, but the Ripper remains elusive. Beyond the physical evidence, the Ripper's psychological profile begins to emerge, painting a picture of a deeply disturbed individual. He is a master of disguise, able to blend into the crowded streets of Whitechapel, evading capture with an almost supernatural ease. He is also incredibly bold, committing his murders in public spaces and seemingly unafraid of capture, taunting the authorities with his audacity. The Ripper taunts the police with letters, some believed to be genuine, others hoaxes, adding another layer of complexity to the investigation. These letters, filled with boasts and cryptic clues, only deepen the mystery, leaving investigators and the public alike grasping for answers. They offer tantalizing glimpses into the mind of a killer, but ultimately, the Ripper's true identity and motives remain shrouded in darkness, a puzzle that continues to captivate and horrify. Section 4. Whispers in the Shadows. Who was Jack the Ripper? Over a century later, the identity of Jack the Ripper remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. The streets of Whitechapel, shrouded in fog and fear, were the stage for a series of brutal murders that have captivated the public imagination for generations. Countless theories abound, each with its own set of supporters and detractors. From amateur sleuths to professional historians, everyone has their own idea of who the Ripper might have been. Was the Ripper a doctor, a butcher? The precision of the murders suggested a certain level of anatomical knowledge, leading some to believe he was a medical professional, or someone even more sinister. Theories have ranged from the plausible to the outlandish, each adding another layer to the mystery. The lack of conclusive evidence has allowed speculation to flourish. Despite numerous investigations and modern forensic techniques, the true identity of Jack the Ripper remains unknown. Suspects range from Queen Victoria's grandson, Prince Albert Victor, to impoverished immigrants who had recently arrived in London. Each theory reflects the social anxieties and prejudices of the time. Each suspect has their own story, each woven into the fabric of the Ripper legend. Theories have implicated everyone from artists to aristocrats, each adding to the mythos. Some theories point to the Ripper's knowledge of anatomy, suggesting a medical professional. The gruesome nature of the murders indicated a familiarity with surgical procedures. Others focus on his apparent understanding of the poverty and desperation of Whitechapel, suggesting someone familiar with the area. The Ripper's ability to navigate the labyrinthine streets of Whitechapel undetected has led some to believe he was a local. The truth, however, remains elusive. Despite the best efforts of detectives, both past and present, the Ripper's identity continues to evade discovery. The fog of time has obscured the Ripper's tracks, leaving behind only whispers and speculation. The passage of time has only deepened the mystery, turning Jack the Ripper into a legend. He remains a spectre, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk even in the heart of a bustling city. The story of Jack the Ripper is a haunting tale that continues to fascinate and terrify, a dark chapter in the history of London that refuses to close. Section 5. The royal suspect Prince Albert Victor and the conspiracy. One of the most sensational theories involves Queen Victoria's own grandson, Prince Albert Victor, Duke of Clarence. This theory, popularised in the late 20th century, suggests a royal cover-up to protect the monarchy. Prince Albert Victor, known as Eddie to his family, suffered from ill health and may have exhibited signs of mental instability. Some believe he could have committed the murders while suffering from syphilis-induced dementia. The theory suggests that the murders were pinned on a scapegoat to protect the royal family's reputation. While lacking concrete evidence, the royal conspiracy theory continues to fascinate and fuel speculation. This theory highlights the social anxieties of the Victorian era. The idea that a member of the elite could commit such heinous acts was deeply unsettling. It challenged the established social order. Section 6. The Leather Apron searching for a killer among us. Another popular suspect was Leather Apron, a local Jewish butcher named John Pizer. Pizer had a history of violence against women and was known to carry a knife. He became an immediate suspect after the murders began. The Leather Apron nickname played into existing prejudices against immigrants and fueled anti-Semitism in Whitechapel. While Pizer was eventually cleared of suspicion, the damage was done. The targeting of Peitzer reveals how fear and prejudice can influence investigations. The police, under immense pressure to catch the Ripper, were quick to focus on individuals who fit a preconceived profile. The leather apron theory serves as a reminder of the dangers of profiling and the importance of evidence-based investigations. It also highlights the social tensions that existed in Victorian London. Section 7. The mystery endures, why we may never know. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, Jack the Ripper's true identity remains a mystery. The passage of time, coupled with the limitations of Victorian-era forensic science, has made solving the case nearly impossible. The fog-shrouded streets of Whitechapel, once a hunting ground for the Ripper, have long since vanished. The buildings are gone, the evidence lost to time. Only the stories remain, passed down through generations. The Ripper case serves as a reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. Despite our best efforts, some secrets remain hidden, lost to the complexities of the past. The enduring fascination with Jack the Ripper speaks to our desire for answers, for closure. We are drawn to mysteries, particularly those that involve the darkest aspects of human nature.